have a thingy.
You have a thingy?
Okay.
Please explain.
Yeah, we need some context because that alone is
Not
interesting.
appropriate.
Okay. Close your eyes. Well, don't close your eyes, but proverbially, close your eyes. So imagine you travel all the way to California to go see Taylor Swift this fall. You've been so excited to go, and you made all these plans only to show up at the concert and she's canceled the rest of her tour. How would you feel? Would you stop listening to her music?
No.
I don't think so. I'd just be absolutely bummed.
Yeah?
I would be a little mad because I had spent all that money and like energy trying to get there, and then I literally get there and then it's canceled. I'd be pretty pissed, but I don't think I would stop listening.
So that happened with Morgan Wallen. He had, I guess he's taking vocal rest for the next 6 weeks, and a lot of his fans went on TikTok and were upset because they had traveled X amount of hours to go to a concert just to show up, and there was like this big like sign on the stage basically saying, like from him saying, sorry, like I have to cancel tonight's show, yada yada yada. My brother and his wife had tickets to go sometime in July or June, something like that, and it got rescheduled. So, but a lot of these people were saying like, I can't believe this. I would never listen to his music again. Like, this is horrible.
Goodness.
Like, he doesn't care about his fans. And I'm over here like, okay, if you really cared about this person, you would understand that they're also human.
Yeah, listen, it's a human being. Like, don't you have to cancel things sometimes and, like, take time for yourself? Don't you get, like, sick sometimes? Like, things happen.
Maybe it's on a bigger scale like that, where you're, like, literally disappointing and putting out, like, a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But it's, like, he is allowed to be, like, yeah, I can't come. Like, I have to take care of myself. And if he wants to continue making more music and continue doing tours and things like that, he's gonna have to take a break every now and then, even if it is unfortunate like that.
Yeah. And we don't know the reason. I mean, it might be vocal rest, it might be something else, but, like, it just was interesting to me because I was thinking about it. I was like, would I ever take it so personally if my favorite artist did that? Like, you just never know what happens in people's lives. Like, you don't know if someone died in his family and that's why he has to take time off or whatever. Vocal rest, even. Like, come on. Like, he's using his voice every day, almost.
Plus, it's the whole, like, I would stop listening to his music. Like, that's pretty, like, selfish, almost. Just saying, like, just one little thing that happened and then, like, all of a sudden you're just, like, not interested in him anymore. Like, that's pretty fake.
Yeah.
Pretty fake. Like a pretty fake fan. Fake fan.
Fake fan. Hater. Anyway, just wanted to bring that up because I was like, am I the only one that wouldn't care? I would be sad, but not sad because I would never listen to their music again or it ruined their image for me, but mostly for, like, all the energy that I put into going. But I would also be understanding because, you know, like we talked about, people are human and we shouldn't fault people for their natural man, basically. So, Anyway, just wanted to give that what if scenario.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Discussions with Heidi, Nat, and Kim.
We're three sisters who talk about anything and everything while playing trivia.
We can't promise we'll always stay on topic, but we can promise we'll always be safe for work. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
All right.
My phone, do not disturb. Sorry.
Well, today we are going to be talking about what culture or country we would like to live in, and also along with that, what kind of, like, time period we want to live in that set culture. So, go Nat.
Which one?
Well, what, yeah, where are we starting?
I thought that
Did you
we
come
were
up with a
doing
list?
it as, like, all
like, all
clumped.
together? Oh.
So I only came up with one.
Oh, well, sure, yours first then, and then we'll kind of...
Okay.
Yeah, do yours first.
Listen up.
Listening.
So, mine is actually, like, the Western frontier. Is that yours?
Maybe.
Western frontier? When's that?
It's like the
1800s?
late 1800s,
Oh, okay.
like
Gotcha.
the 1850s to the 1900s. Yeah.
All right.
And just because like it's like the best of both worlds, like the Regency like
cowboys?
kind of thing. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, cowboys.
Ah,
But,
I'm
like,
seeing what it is.
You have like the Regency side where like it's still like still a lot of like manners and like kind of that side of things, but women have a lot more like they have a lot more responsibility and other things than just like bearing children. Like they can actually do more. Like that's when the time period where women started becoming teachers and like other workers and things like that. And so like you'd still be able to have like a career and everything, but you'd also get to marry a cowboy.
Oh, I see. I see the real reason you wanted to be on the Western frontier.
See, but I had a hard time with it because I told you guys we just watched the Zorro movies and like Zorro's wife, like in the first movie, she's not his wife yet, but her dad's like a very prominent politician and stuff, and like a lord or whatever, Dawn, and she'll like try and like say her opinion on things, and all the men just like completely disregard her. Like she's like no business being in politics, no business thinking. Like she's just there for eye candy, pretty much. And like it
Sad.
just irritates me, you know. Like, and so I think about all these other time periods, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Because really, for me, when I was like, "What country would you want to live in?" I really cannot imagine myself living anywhere.
I knew
other
it. I
than
was like,
America.
Heidi's not gonna be able to pick a
I
country.
can't. I
Because
can't.
America.
Literally, like, I love America, and maybe that's controversial, or whatever. But like, I seriously can't imagine living anywhere else, and I don't want to. And so it's like the fact that I'm like, I literally can't think of any culture or anything else that I would want to live in. So, but
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Can't relate. Though.
I guess it just depends on how long. Like, if it was
True.
for the rest of my life, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
But like, if it was for like a couple years,
Yeah, like a
or-
couple years. That's what I was thinking.
But that's why you have like travel and things. You get to go. You could go for like a couple months and be like, "Oh, that was a lovely culture. I loved that area."
Yeah.
And then you move back to your life.
But I'd want to be like immersed into like the culture.
That's why. Well, that's why. Like, I think I came up with this topic, and that's why I said like country/culture because, like, for example, I spent 18 months in Brazil. I love their culture. I love a lot of things about their culture. Their country is in shambles a lot of the time because they have a horrible
Government.
political system, yeah. And so their government just rips off the people all the time, and there's a ton of corruption. And then it's this rich country in natural resources, but it's so poor because they use it poorly. And so it's just like so heartbreaking. But like honestly, the Brazilian people and their culture is just like they're just so nice and bouncy and happy, and it's just fun. So,
True.
Yeah, when I was thinking about this topic, it was immediately I thought of countries in which the culture I would also thrive in, I feel like. So I was thinking about both kind of together because I was like, oh, maybe this, but I was like, maybe not. Well, actually, now that I'm saying that, I just thought of one. Japan. Love the culture. Don't know if I could live in the country.
Yeah.
Because I love like certain parts of their culture and their fashion.
I can't do their food.
Oh, really? I mean, I guess I
can't.
can't either. So that's that. But I was like fashion and entertainment.
Yeah.
They
Wesley
so
really
good.
wants to go to Japan, but I'm like,
Japan fascinates me.
Yeah?
Their culture. Like, I don't know a ton about it, but like it was always the country mentioned in like the studies about countries that have a culture that's more interdependent versus independent. Like in the US, we're like, we want to be independent. Like being independent is the thing. And like growing up, I thought that was awesome. I was like, yeah, independence, obviously better than everything else. And like, I just have that like American pride. Like I want to be independent. But as I've like studied things in like sociology, psychology stuff, it honestly doesn't make sense all the time to be so independent. And like the way that they do their culture where like everyone helps raise families and like the whole society, they can just send their kids to school that's halfway across the city on trains and stuff, and their crime rate
very low.
so low. Like they've obviously got some things good going for them.
Oh yeah. I mean, thinking about that one show called Old Enough.
Yeah.
Like, imagine setting Nora, the only 3-year-old we know right now. And she like goes to the grocery store and runs some errands for Nat, and like she can walk to Costco and grab one of those wagons, and she
Well-
can do it because they do that over there. And I'm just like, how?
Well, that's why. Actually, we should do our trivia really quick.
oh yeah,
Okay,
pause.
sorry.
Trivia.
Trivia.
I didn't even know this was going to be so interesting so fast. Okay.
Yo,
Oh, wow.
we're not interested.
No, just like I thought it might take us a minute to get into it. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
Okay, go.
How many languages is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone translated into?
Ooh.
How many languages are there in the world?
Many.
300.
I'm gonna say. Wait, do we have options?
Yeah, we have options.
Oh,
Okay, hold
shoot.
on. But before you say the options, I'm gonna guess 87. I'm gonna say 87.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
112, 58,
Oh, shoot. I was way over.
67, or 99.
112.
67.
67.
Oh my gosh. I was way off. Wow.
And the Bible is translated into over 2,000 languages.
I was gonna say how many is the Bible, and then I
Wow.
was gonna like subtract some numbers.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, also the Book of Mormon is on the list of most translated books in the world,
Wow.
along with Pippi Longstocking, Pinocchio.
Really long
Yeah.
stocking? I love
Up
that.
there with the
Yeah.
Bible
Yeah.
and Book of Mormon.
No, it's like the Bible's over here,
Right.
and then everybody else is like here. But like they're
okay.
still in the top like 18
Wow.
or something like
Oh
that.
my
Impressed.
gosh. Have you
Anyway.
guys read any Pippi Longstocking?
A long time ago, yes.
Have you?
No.
Oh my gosh. You gotta just read it.
Yeah,
like,
a long time
it's like
ago.
kind of like a younger
Mm-hmm.
audience. Her logic is so funny. It's like Winnie the Pooh. Like you're like, how that makes sense, but it's wrong. It's like the logic, it clearly has
Yeah.
a clear line, but it's just wrong and you know it, but you can't explain why it's wrong. And it's just so funny.
She's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's
They're just-
interesting.
That is pretty cool.
I just learned something new today.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen like reels where they talk about what certain Harry Potter names are in like other countries?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Like
What?
in Ireland, things are just their names are just whack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Quidditch? It was like
I don't remember, but it was something weird. It was
we're gonna have
something
to like put that on our Instagram
Yeah.
because it's just I
You
was
have
like
to find that for me because I
think Hogwarts even was called something else.
like Ireland. Just their names are just like Saoirse Ronan. I don't know if you guys know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
She was. Did you ever watch The Host?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else you know her in.
The Little Woman. Right?
Little Women, Greta Gerwig's version.
I haven't
Oh,
either.
the one
I just know
about the
she's in
little
it.
girl that. And Stanley Tucci is the bad guy. It'll come to me.
I love Stanley. Hunger Games?
The guy like Snow?
No, the other
No,
one.
not Snow. The what's his name?
Devil Wears Prada, the bald guy.
Oh yeah. So Stanley Flickerman.
This is
Yeah.
gonna
Flickerman.
bother me. Hold up. I'm gonna find out which movie she's in because she was in a movie about like based off a book. Please
Hunger
hold.
Games.
The Lovely Bones.
The Lovely
The
Bones.
Lovely
I
Bones. Did you guys ever watch that
no.
one?
No.
Okay, well let me show you a picture of her. This is her.
Bones that are lovely.
That's her. So anyway, her name is spelled Saoirse. Saoirse. She's
Okay.
Irish, and she like went on. I think it was.
Soiree. Soiro.
I'm just
What
like,
say?
what is wrong with Ireland? So they are not on my list for that reason. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't get past it. I was like, I'm sorry. I just, I can't. I can't.
Okay. Well, following up with what you were saying about just you were saying something about forget.
I said a lot of things.
You said something about like living in the time period, but like anyway, basically my mind it connects, and I'm sure that we could go back and be like, oh yeah, this connects. But I always say like that I would like to live in the time period where we could like America used to be able to do that, where we could send our kids wherever and then like we would know that they're safe, you know? And that's why I liked the book. I liked the movie and the book Flipped, where they basically just ride their bike to school and back, and they go on walks, and they're just hanging out outside, and everybody's just like has like a community, you know, but like that doesn't happen anymore, and it's really sad. And so like I always thought that I lived in the wrong time period. Because I was like, I want that. I wanted that. I've always wanted that. And I think that's what kind of made me love America from the beginning, was just like the fact that that's where we came from. But things are very different now. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that just might have to do a lot with technology and stuff too. But that's honestly like kind of how Brazil was. Like I remember in Brazil, like every single day I would get this feeling of like a summer celebration, like a summer barbecue, kind of like a 4th of July feel almost, where everyone's out, like kids are flying kites, there's barbecues going everywhere, there's like people are watching soccer, like it's just this big, it always felt like a holiday to me, because that's what holidays look like here, but that was like every day for them, and they're just always out. People, the old people there, they don't have TVs, they just like sit their chairs on the porch and just wait to talk to people or just like watch, and they give you the thumbs up. That was my favorite thing. You just walk by and they're like, it's just so funny.
That's so cute. Yeah, I mean, I feel like just Latin American countries in general, they're very good about celebrating even the little things.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always like taken for granted, being half Hispanic, because like I would get like an A on a test in elementary school. And Mom was like, all right, party. And we'd go to my uncle's house, and like there would be food and music and all this stuff. And like that was normal. And so like for me, it's like I'm still getting used to like parties only being like 2 hours long here. Because like your bridal shower, for instance, I was like, that was so short. Because like I
could have kept going because I was having fun.
Yeah.
But
like so, like the culture
Yeah.
here is to like, no, you say a time that you end on that time, and then everyone
It's
leaves.
over,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's something I'm like, wow, like I took that for granted, because I used to hate it as a kid. I'd be like, oh, Mom, like come on, let's go home. But now it's like, I want to stay here with all the happy people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, for reals. Like, they really do celebrate every little thing. And I feel like here, especially as we get older in our family, it's like, oh, we have to do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, we get to do this. Like, come on.
Well,
like,
that's what
it is work, but that's another thing with the Latin American countries. They all come together and do it. Like, everyone does it. Like, it's somebody's birthday, and like all the aunts are there making the food. Like, everybody joins in, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's why I like your idea that we've had, you know, that you've had in the past, where we try and make birthdays really special. And like, of course, like holidays are special and whatever, but the birthdays, just celebrating that one person, just because like it means a lot to me personally, just because like my birthday gets wrapped into a lot of other things, like Mother's Day and Dad's birthday, and now Baylor's birthday, and so it's just like there's a lot of stuff going on in May, and so every year it just feels like less like a day for me and more just like a
Oh, one more
burden.
thing.
Yeah, like a one more type of thing, you know. So like I remember like last year, 2 years ago or something like that, one of my roommates was like, yeah, there's just so much going on, we should just like lump all the birthdays together. And I was like,
No,
that
I
kind of
hate
made me
that.
sad, because I was like, but I'm a person and they're a person, and we should have different days for each person, you know. Like, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to do it like that, because like you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone, but like that doesn't make it very personal.
Yeah.
And so I really like that we're trying to do it that way. Like, you make your culture how you want to make it, right? And so it's like you can change that,
Yeah.
but it's really hard to.
I know. Dad was trying to get out of celebrating his birthday this year, and I was like, nice try. We saw you. And I told him that when I said goodbye to him last night. I was like, just so you know, we're never going to forget that it's your birthday too. And he was like, okay.
I think he had so much fun at Topgolf.
I think
Oh, he did.
too.
We went to Topgolf for his birthday. Like, all of us were there. Even Nora did some golfing.
She was teaching. She taught me some stuff.
Oh my gosh, you want to hear what she said to me? I was like, Dad, can you teach me how to do this? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And Nora comes up to me. She's like, Heidi, you just swing it. And I was like, oh oh, really? Is that how you do it? She's like, yeah, like this. It shows
She
me.
shows you.
And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. I totally get it now. And
No,
she's
I'm,
like, yeah.
I'm telling you, she helped me get some points.
Oh my
I watched her do it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it exactly how she just showed me to. And then I did it, and I got like 12 points. So I was like, maybe there's a method to her madness.
All right,
All right.
Kim, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. Which Avenger, other than Captain America, was able to pick up Thor's Mjolnir in the Marvel movies? That's his hammer.
Wasn't it Spider-Man?
No. Wait, can you give
No,
me
no, no.
options?
Wait. Say that again.
Which Avenger, other than Captain America, was able to pick up Thor's Mjolnir in the Marvel movies? Do you need options?
Yeah.
Iron Man, Vision, Wanda
Vision.
Maximoff.
Yeah, it was Vision.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, guys.
I'm like,
it's,
I know.
It's funny because it's like a loophole because he's not technically like
An Avenger.
a person. No, like he's not a person. But I was
don't-
like, Avenger. That's the key phrasing here.
I don't really count him as an Avenger. I don't think of him as an Avenger. I always think of like the original 6 as Avengers.
Okay, that's fair.
So like, I always forget he's there, honestly.
After Infinity War, I kind of count all of them as Avengers at this point. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're all Avengers.
Well, and that's kind of like the moral of that story. Like, we all can avenge what we need to, you know? Like, we all can help. But,
That's beautiful.
thank you. Anyway. Okay.
All right. So a culture that I thought of, and I thought this was hilarious. So please laugh for a second. Italians from New York.
Yeah, like New
That
Jersey.
culture, just like that. Like forget about it. Like,
Forget about it.
I feel like if I could pick any reincarnation, I would take on the form of an
What was it,
Italian.
like big frat Greek wedding, like being a Greek.
Yeah,
I thought that too. Yeah,
Greece
I
is on
just
my
thought that.
list.
She said that.
Because I just read a book about someone that vacationed in Greece, and it just made me like, because Greece has been on my number one like bucket list travel. I need to go there before I die. Just because it looks beautiful there, and a lot of my favorite movies are Greek inspired. And
Mamma
I love,
Mia?
Exactly. Mamma Mia.
Absolutely.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants too.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, just to name a few. But
That's all.
that's it. No, and then my Big Fat Greek Wedding, obviously, because it reminds me of my family. But yeah, just like that culture of like, again, they're more like family oriented. I also thought of Italian, like just Italy in general, because of their fashion. Like they have Gucci, Versace, all those Prada, like all that fun stuff. But again, I think it'd be cool to go shopping in like Milan because it's, and they have pizza
You know
for
what?
crying out
Yeah,
loud.
I was gonna say I was like, all I need to know is their culture. I love their food,
Yeah.
Italian food. I tell Colton all the time. I was like, I think I was supposed to be Italian actually, because my favorite foods are all Italian.
Same, all the
inspired.
carbs, all the
Yeah.
horrible
Yeah.
carbs that get
Yeah.
you.
How are they still like skinny people?
It's
I don't-
because
oh,
they don't
seriously.
have processed. So actually,
they make it like hand.
yeah, they
made.
make it homemade. They don't process all their like butters and garlics and all that stuff. It's just kind of like
They probably have portion control too.
that too. That too.
No, but there's me. I'm like watching Luca with Nora,
Me too. I love
and
that
literally
movie.
my mouth just waters
Yeah.
watching them make the pasta. I literally found a recipe and made the pasta that they like show a lot
You
in that
did?
movie. It's so good.
I still have not finished that movie.
It's actually really cute.
Yeah, I
I
actually it
watched
grew
like
on me.
half of it.
The first time I watched it, I was like, meh, but it's grown on me a lot.
Silenzio
And I
Bruno.
love the music. It's
Me
just like
too.
oh,
that part of
the
Italy,
music.
though,
Italy,
yeah.
yeah, Italian music
like
is pretty. It's
Italian
pretty jazzy too.
And I like that. I can also understand Italian quite a bit because it's basically
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah,
but, like,
it's fun to
turn.
speak to, and let's not forget, the the hand, the Italian hand. No, but it's really fun to like pretend you can speak Italian.
Yeah, like honestly, the Lizzie McGuire movie really solidified my love for Italy. La città eterna. Hello, Eternal City, Rome. Like, yeah. So I would love to go to Italy just because I feel like I could kind of understand.
Yeah.
It's a Latin-based language, so. But yeah, on my list was Italy because of the also pizza, pasta. Just
That's so true.
catch me in Italy, just gaining 30 pounds. But worth it. But maybe not though, because we just talked about their portion control.
Yeah,
And they probably walk everywhere because their streets are probably
flooded.
no like
What?
just like no, just like they had like the cobblestone roads.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, wow, Europe is so cool. Why couldn't we have that here? Like we had freaking the British. Why couldn't they just bestow their construction
Because
things?
the British are different from
The British are
Europe.
That's true.
listen.
They're not on my list.
The
by
British
the way.
were very selfish people back in those like early days, like so selfish.
What do you mean?
Like it was all about them and like the high society, and like if you were
Oh,
like
yeah,
lower
yeah, yeah.
class, then it was like you were nothing. And so like, do you really think that they would share like ideas and things with other countries? No.
No. Well, and, like, so Queen Charlotte just came out, and there's a part where they reference the American colonies. And they're like talking about how like they're like starting to revolt and like complain about taxes, and I was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, let's go, America. Like, I really was like, I'm so proud. Like I knew that actually happened. But I was
Oh
like,
my gosh. Okay, I watched Spirit.
oh,
Skate. That movie.
I watched Spirit and I was literally like sobbing by
I was
the
saying,
end.
that movie
I
makes me
was-
cry.
I was like telling Wesley, like it was like an hour and 20-minute movie, okay? And it tells the most beautiful story about a freaking horse.
Yeah.
And like,
Okay, Nora did not move when we watched that with her. She sat wide-eyed and watched that thing the whole way through. And
just
kept,
like,
It's a
I
good
just
one.
kept, and then like at the end, I was like, Wesley, they told the most beautiful story. Literally, there were barely any words in it, but it was just like the horse's emotion and like. And like
Stop.
the music, alone told the story.
Did I send you that reel of the chick that's talking about this movie? No.
I don't think so.
And then she like shows a picture of Spirit and like some of his facial expressions. She's like, "The horse is hot, okay?" And then she like shows Matt Damon. She's like, "We never stood a chance. He's voiced by him." And like she
true.
just goes on. It's so
I
funny.
didn't know he was voiced by Matt Damon.
Well, as soon as we started watching and he started narrating, Wesley was like, Matt Damon.
that Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't.
Good
Well,
movie.
I brought it up just because of I don't know, just like the whole Western frontier type of thing. But you see it from like a different point of view,
Yeah.
where like we're seen as like the bad people, and like I get that, but it's just like so beautiful just to see like the end when I forget his name. I don't even know if like we even know his name. But the guy that like gets taken and
Isn't it like Littlefoot or something? I could be completely wrong.
isn't
Night-
that from like
Night-
The Good Dinosaur or something?
Maybe. I don't know. No, I feel like he
know.
does have a name. What is
Hold
his
on.
name?
Yeah.
I don't know his name. But like that guy, he gets taken with Spirit, or yeah, even like Spirit doesn't have a name. Like
Oh, it's Little Creek. See, I was
Little-
close.
You were close. I was gonna say you were close. He's a little foot.
Littlefoot.
okay, so Little Creek and Spirit are like trapped together, and then like they end up like getting away with each other, and Spirit proves that he can't be broken by the Western frontier people, and he like gets away with Little Creek, and Little Creek tries to like kind of break him almost, but not really. Like he does it in a different way. And then at the end, when like Spirit goes through all of these like obstacles and things just to get back to his family and whatever, he's like just like, you can know that you will never be broken. Like you can never be broken. And then he like shows him just like running off. I was like, it's like pure tears just coming out of my eyes. And like I understand the meaning of leak. Like when you said like the eye, like the tears just keep streaming down, but like you're not really like actively crying.
Yeah. Me after Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I was outside with my friends, and they're talking to me, and I had like 3 tears, and they're like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I don't know, I'm leaking. I think I cried so hard that my eye sockets are just like.
You cry. I didn't cry in that movie. I was really sad.
Oh,
though.
so you're heartless.
maybe. I totally could be. But anyway, I just
Just kidding.
Spirit is so good.
I just cry a lot.
I just thinking back to the time where I'm like literally cuddling with Wesley, like, and then the music, and like tells the story, and then there's that little guy that like saves his life, and then he just,
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Are
It's
you
a good
kidding? Nora was just so worried about him getting back to his family. Like literally, as soon as he was taken, she was just so worried. I was like, just wait. It's okay.
I know. Anyway, sorry, there's a long tangent for Spirit. I feel like that's the most underrated movie.
It is though.
It is.
I hadn't seen it in like so many years.
Yeah, Colton's so cute because literally like it came up somehow and he was like, I love that movie. That is one of my favorite movies. And I was like,
Leslie had never seen it, and he was like kind of laughing at me that I wanted to watch a horse movie. But then at the end, he was like, "That is the cutest movie I've ever seen."
yeah. As a kid, I was out there on the trampoline. I was pretending to be
Oh, yeah.
Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
like-
Relatable.
Spirit, not Rain.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
no,
Spirit.
always the main
No,
character.
literally, I
Heidi.
was thinking about this though. I was like, because yeah, the Western frontier or like that's just like simpler times. Like I was thinking about it, and I was like, I want to go back to this time if I can be a boy,
relatable.
because I don't want to just be stuck inside doing chores. Like
Yeah.
that's really what it was. And then the boys just got to go wander the woods and like
Have
shoot
fun,
things.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I want to go explore.
But there was the time period where they actually got to have a job, so like it's kind of the best. Like kind of two ways. You could either be a stay-at-home mother or like whatever, or you could like have the job and things like that. Like One Called the Heart. One Calls the Heart. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, okay, well. That's
The
based in
judgment
the
I just felt.
1900s, but she comes to this town to become a teacher, and then she like falls in love with the with like the countryside and whatever, and she like stays there.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But yeah, I'm just too much. Any other time period, I'm like, I just don't think I could do it if I was a woman.
See, but then there's like the shallow part of me that wrote down 3 periods of, I guess, Europe mainly, the Georgian, the Regency, and the Victorian eras. Because I love the clothing.
Well,
Like,
I would go back to that time period if I could be a high royal.
that's what I'm saying. So I if I could pick, I would still probably be a woman, but I'd be someone that draws a bath for them. You know what I'm saying? Simple things is what I'm looking
You
for.
Yeah,
want to
see,
be the
like-
servant?
Yeah. No, I want someone to serve me.
Oh.
I couldn't even be the royal person. Like that just sounds infinitely boring to me. All they do is wait around for like some gossip, and then they like all
It's
travel
true.
around to each other's houses and gossip. And then like you have to be like the latest fashion, and there's so much pressure to be like the most socially
Accepted.
yeah. And I hate that. I am like not. That is just not me. I would not like that.
See, and I'm just over here like amazed at the level of work that they would put into some of these like petticoats and corsets and how they would bind people. And like, yeah, that sounds super uncomfortable, but it looks good. So again, that's my shallow side coming on. Like, if I could pick one.
There's this scene in Queen Charlotte where she's like sitting all weird in the carriage, and
Her brother.
and her brother's like, "You've been sitting like that for the past 6 hours. What is your problem?" She's like, well, I have a corset that is made out of whalebone. Yes, a whale died so I can look like this. So she's just like goes like straight into it. And I was like, yeah, like I don't know how much I'd love wearing a corset every day, but
And he's like, so I can see that you're upset. And she's like, yeah, it looks like I am. Like something like that. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm pretty upset.
She's like, if I move, she's threatening him. She's like, I'll move and then impale myself so I can, so like you don't
I'll
have.
bleed out in this carriage, and I'll never get to the George's castle or something. like that.
Yeah. I was just like, that is so like I think that's how I would be. I would like to think that I would be the kind to stand up for myself because she does too. Because there's a point where she like doesn't want to have someone else pick an orange for her from a tree, and I was like, yeah, that would be
But the fact that
tedious.
literally there are servants that was their entire job was to pick oranges.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was their whole task.
So it's like how you're right. It's kind of boring. Like if you were to be anything else, really like
I
that
would
would be
be
their
a
whole task
horse.
to just sit there.
I would be an inanimate object in that period.
I'd be the castle.
I'd be the dog. I'd be the dog or the carriage. Because the carriage sees a lot because it travels.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about which inanimate objects we would be.
Yeah, I started. I said carriage. You go next.
Okay, Natalie, do your trivia. Sorry, I thought my drink was down there and I was gonna kick
no.
it.
Oh.
Okay. Which country ranks first in cereal consumption per capita?
I love
Okay.
cereal.
Wait, can we guess?
Sure.
Canada,
Mexico.
United States.
Okay.
Not North America, apparently. right?
USA,
Okay.
Italy, Ireland, or the Philippines.
Oh, it has to be the Philippines.
I want to say Ireland.
I would say Ireland because I want them to be eating Lucky Charms all the time. But that's but it's probably not that. So I'm gonna go Philippines.
What is it?
Ireland.
I was right. Oh, so they are eating Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
That's what they eat over there. I just am
Gosh.
visualizing all of it. I guess per capita, because it is a pretty like there's a lot of land in Ireland that hasn't been like USA'd.
Developed.
USA'd in the sense of like they're not like building townhomes in every
Oh.
piece of land.
So developed?
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. English is hard.
Oh my. Yeah.
All right.
I just want to know, when did Canada become a thing?
Like a country.
Yeah.
Like an idea or
When did it become a country?
I don't know.
I should know this. Wasn't it like shortly after all of our stuff, and then like France and some other? Isn't it like France and England
And
were kind of
England.
fighting over Canada?
That's why Quebec and like
Yeah.
Montreal, all that exists. Yeah, I think so. That sounds right. Because I was gonna say, I think England still technically
Owns it?
owns it. Yeah. Well,
Huh.
the non-French part.
Huh. Because I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, I like knew that it was like had a whole bunch of different like languages because like there were a lot of people fighting over the land, but I just like didn't really connect that it like became like an actual country. You know, after all of it, but it did. Like I'm stupid, so let's just talk about something else.
Anyway,
It's hard to know about other countries. It's like you barely know about your own. So
Yeah.
much stuff to remember.
it's true. All right, did you have any other countries you wanted to mention? I wrote down Epcot, and I don't remember why. Oh, because it has a lot of different countries there. It's like, what would be ideal for me? Epcot, because it has all of them just right there in Florida.
I'm
There's
trying to think.
what about the fact that Iceland is actually like green and Greenland is actually like icy?
Don't talk to me about that.
Who did that?
I have beef with
Just
whoever did that.
Did it just like flip randomly? Like one day
I have
it
no
was just
idea.
like,
I think they
I'm
were-
gonna be green now.
They were doing, I think I read somewhere, like, don't quote me, that it was kind of like a prank that I think the Vikings played on the rest of the world, where they were like, oh, well, we're going to make everyone think that this place is green and that this place is ice, and then they're going to be, like, flipped, and yeah.
So
I
only
hope
the
that's the
Vikings
truth.
knew it.
That's funny.
I know. I like to think that that's the truth, so I'm just going to say it is.
okay.
Don't cancel me, Vikings.
Hiccup.
I wrote down Spain, but Heidi, I think you would thrive in Spain.
I honestly was thinking Spain.
Oh, okay.
I was like, maybe I could.
Because they're like the tapas central. Like their whole like thing, their meals are like appetizers. And I thought of you that likes to snack on things.
Yeah.
I'm like, your ideal meal would probably just be like appetizers only. We went to Denny's and you got mozzarella sticks. And
That is
so
true.
I'm
That is
like, that's
true.
kind of like tapas.
Well, because like I've been to Belize and I've been to Costa Rica. I always want to say Costa Vida.
Costa Vida.
Stop it, Kim. Stop it. So I've been to both of those countries, and I mean I don't speak Spanish, but Belize has a lot of people that speak English there, but like it's still like enough to be like immersed in like another language. I think so. I feel like that could be kind of cool to like live there and live by the ocean and things like that, but they have way too many bugs that I don't know about and I don't want to know about and I just can't. No. So, but then like Costa Rica is really, really beautiful and green.
Which the greenness is because of the bugs.
And
probably.
it's like similar to, you know, like the Latin culture and everything where everybody's just so happy there, I feel like. And they speak a lot more Spanish there.
You
And the
should just
rainstorms would be amazing.
You should just go to Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
So Jamaica, they speak English,
yeah.
and
But a
it's
cool accent.
beautiful, and they're super laid back and chill. And it also kind of like, honestly, you kind of feel like you're going back a time period because a lot of people just live in like huts type things, like way up in the
Cute.
mountains, and just like
Cute.
we went with a family. The mom's from Jamaica, and she showed us where she grew up, and it's seriously like you go up in the mountain, and it's like it's like this little tiny pathway that goes up to this house, and it's like
Wow.
and she grew up, and I don't even think like her family, like her grandma knew how to read and like things like that, and like
Wow.
her mom helped her get out of there, and she got an education. She's very big on education because she didn't really come from that.
That's
But it is just such a like they're all just very chill. It's just a very simple.
yeah. You'd like
way
that
of
a lot.
life.
And the beach there, I've heard, is amazing.
Yeah. Warm water.
Warm water. Yeah, the
It's
Caribbean.
nice, yeah.
My cousin's getting married in Jamaica, so
Wow.
that's cool. Yeah. Don't know why she's getting married there, but she is.
I mean, why not?
That's fair.
Do what you want, man. It's your wedding.
But do you think, now I'm thinking about this, do you think that like people in South America are happier because they're closer to the equator? So like they get like a lot of more like
Lot
the
more sun
sun
in
and
it.
heat.
I think it most definitely has things to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yep.
I just did.
On my mission, they would say like, the hotter it is, the more open and receptive the people are, and that was true.
Hmm.
So
Natalie, I thought of Thailand or India for you. Oh, I had like thoughts.
I don't know that culture. I
But
just
because
don't
of
know.
elephants.
I know that's true. I just don't know enough about that culture where it just like freaks me out. I don't know.
Well, like India has Bollywood, which is really fun. If you ever watch a Bollywood movie,
I've
they're all
always
very
wanted
fun.
to go to India.
See, but their cultures scare me. Like the whole like
Misogynist.
arranged marriages and like parents having like so much pressure on their children,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I don't know. It scares me.
yeah, I feel like that's just a place that you should visit.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go at least once. I know the food is spicy, but I don't know. I'm really fascinated by the culture. I went through a phase with one of my best friends where we just watched a ton of Bollywood movies one summer, and it kind of changed my life. They're all musicals, and they're very big productions, very colorful. Like The Eternals, bad movie. But the part where they show the Indian guy and he's a Bollywood actor and like all the bright colors, like that was very spot on. Like when I think of Bollywood, I think of vibrancy, I think of music, and like they're all just like that. And
Did
so,
you watch
yeah.
the Pride and Prejudice Bollywood one?
No. Why did you say it like that?
It's really good.
Oh.
I knew you guys would make fun of me because it's Pride and Prejudice.
No, I need to see it.
It's so good.
I'm telling you, mark my words. You guys need to watch some Bollywood movies. I actually watched one with Priyanka Chopra. That was one of the first movies I watched. It's called Barfi. I think I've told you guys
And
about
she
it.
has autism.
Autism. And the guy that she's with is deaf. And it's just a very beautiful, and it's a nod to like Charlie Chaplin and that movie period where there was not really sound. And so, yeah, it's just very well done. Very good. Very underrated. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. But yeah, I thought of India and Thailand for you. I was like, the elephants though. And in India, elephants mean good luck.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And I had a friend go to Thailand with her husband and they bathed elephants. And I was like, oh, Nat would thrive.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we were on a walk yesterday. Yes. And we were like walking back to our house and there was these like geese in someone's yard just hanging out and some ducks. And so they're like quacking at us and Baylor's freaking out and Nora's all excited and stuff. And then she like starts talking about Molly, our parents' next door's neighbor's dog. She wants a Molly, she says. Anyway, she's talking about animals, and she's like, yeah, and I could get Molly, and I could ride her. And then she was like, or maybe I could ride an elephant. And I was like, not before me. And then Colton just started laughing. But I'm like, I'm serious. I'm like, I'm shoving her out of the way. She's not riding an elephant before I do.
That's been on your bucket list for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this one time
Yeah.
I could be selfish.
Yeah, guess what? I wake up one morning last week, look at some news. They're taking the elephants out of the Hogel Zoo.
What?
They're moving them.
Where?
They haven't found a place yet, but basically they said they didn't have like the resources they needed to like breed them and like keep them happy in like a herd family unit. And so until they can, yeah. And so like they said it wasn't, hopefully not permanent, but who knows how long it can take. And I'm like, no, it's the whole reason to go.
Darn it.
I was gonna say maybe you should offer up your backyard.
You can bathe them every day.
Well, it's just been so fun because like you guys know, I tell Nora stories and like the stories are always about her and then her elephant Oats.
Yeah.
And so it's
We
just
love
like really
oats.
fun because we're always talking about elephants and like the complexities of an elephant living in our world. Like I told her a story the other day after, I think it was Saturday, after golfing, and like how he was trying to golf. And then he ended up just picking her up with his trunk, and then she would hold the stick out, and he would like kind of golf
Oh my
with
God,
her.
Natalie.
You need to write children's books.
Children's books. You always wanted to write a book. Do it.
Right?
I'll be the illustrator.
I would post about it all the time, and I would read all of them.
Just be like
Bet.
the Love Again girl, where she like has the little like caterpillar.
Yeah, the stubborn caterpillar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
But
think they're
have-
only good because they're tailored to Nora.
No, so that's fine.
But
That's
that's fine.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But,
could just be
yeah,
Nora's
anyway.
adventures with oats.
It's fun. I just like seeing Nora's face, and she's always like, again. But yeah.
I love your stories.
It kind of like makes me think of Calvin and Hobbes in a way.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
So it still
Nora and
works.
Oats,
And Calvin and Hobbes was very popular. Just saying.
the big animal piercing center.
Oh my god.
I will never forget that story.
Oh,
I loved that. I loved that. But anyway.
Thanks for listening to Discussions. Follow us on Instagram at Discussions Podcast and slide into our DMs to tell us what you would like to hear on the show. Tune in next week for another episode with your favorite sisters.